that two countries are signing an agreement on defense should be really delighted.
Mengameli Cyril Ramaphosa wamukele mengameli wasePortugal Marcelo Rebelo de Souza etindlini tembuso e-Unions Building sePitoli.
Denel is in a mess. Yeah, it's a shadow of its former self.
Likomidi lelibuke tindzaba tekusetjentiswa kwetimali tesive Scopa selisole iDenel ikakhulukati ibhodi yalenkampani yahulumende ngekubukela phansi nekungahloniphi iPhalamende.
It's up to the management era to actually install this in the players. Respectful is a key element in one's playing career.
Makatsebona we-Kaizer Chiefs Mark Tovey lobeka kumdlali waleli qembu nga-1988 kuya ku-1991 ugceke leli qembu ngendlela lisayina ngakhona abadlali. Kwaba kuhle kuphindze ngihlangane nawe mbukeli etindzabeni telulwimi lweSiswati la ku SABC 1 lesitfula bukhoma etindlini tekusakata the-SABC ye-Auckland Park eJozi lishonile. Kanti ke khumbula kutsi letindzaba tiyatfolakala nasetinkundleni tekuchumana ngekuthi SABC Tindzaba.
Chumana na-SABC News. Sishayele ngetindzaba letishisako. Tindzaba nje. Kusiluma indlebe talobanga ngitiphi tinkikathi nikhungetse ngumphakathi. Sishayele ku 011-714-6133 noma usithumele email ku news@sabc.co.za. I-SABC News livi lakho itimele ayithathi hlangothi.
Mengameli Cyril Ramaphosa wamukele mengameli wasePortugal Marcelo Rebelo de Souza etindlini tembuso e-Unions Building sePitoli. Labo mengameli basayinde tivumelwano tekusebenzisana. Ramaphosa uthi lamave adlala inzima lenkulu ekuletheni kuthula eMozambique.
Lona ngumengameli wasePortugal Marcelo Rebelo de Souza akhuluma ngelivi lemhumusha abonga kwamukela ngetandla letifuthumele kuleli.
Thank you for the invitation to come to this great country. And this happens in a point whereby Portugal is celebrating its national day.
Kusenjalo umlingani wakhe mengameli Cyril Ramaphosa uthi bahlihle isivumelwano sekuqinisa ubudlelwano ehlangothini lwetekulima kuthengiselana tekuvikela nalokunye. Lamavela amabili aphinza adlala inzima lenkulu ekuletheni kuthula iCabo Delgado eMozambique.
The news that two countries are signing an agreement on defense should be really delighted. That for starters, it means that you have two countries that are signing that we want to cooperate in defense, meaning that we'll never be at war with each other. That's point number one. And number two, we want to learn from each other. We're both naval powers, and there's a lot that we can learn from each other around the defense of our borders, the maritime and all that.
Abuda mengameli ngemhlangano lobekhona emkhatsini kwabaholi base-Afrika ngelidzaba lwempi yeRussia ne-Ukraine. Mengameli uphendvule ngalendlela.
The first thing that we discussed amongst ourselves is that we want to listen to both sides. They need to outline to us their own perspective on the war, as well as what are their minimum requirements for bringing the conflict to an end.
Ramaphosa uthi lidzaba lwekuthi abamengameli waseRussia Vladimir Putin kwingqungquthela ye-BRICS letawubanjwa kuleli lusafakelwa tibuko kulendzela kutsi inkantolo lemave emhlaba ikhiphe incwadzi legunyata kuboshwa kwaPutin.
We as South Africa being the host, obviously we have to discuss this and come up with a clear position. Much of what you hear being said around is really just talk. It's real talk. As I said at one press conference, in the end, you will hear from me.
Ramaphosa ngahle avakashele ePortugal lomnyaka lotako. Ingivuselelo lubisi etindzabeni te-SABC eJozi.
Simo semnotfo lesitshengise kukhula kancane kule kota yokuqala yeminyaka silethe kukhululeka lokuncane ngalesikhathi kuhlolwa simo semnotfo ngekusetshenziswa kwebuchwepheshe. Imininingwane yakamuva levetwe bedibalobalo iStats SA ikhombisa ukuthi kuletinyanga letinzatfu tekuqala talonyaka ukhule ngemaphesenti langu 0.4 usuka ekuncipheni nga 1.3% kule kota yokugcina ya 2022. Lesibalo singcono kakhulu kuleso besilinzelwe ngumhlatiyi sekuthi singahle sikhuphuke nga 0.2%. Nanobeke kube khona lushintsho kepha bosomnotfo bathi lo mehluko lokhona mncane kakhulu ukuthi ungadala emathuba emsebenzi.
Imikhakha yokukhicita newetimali ikhombise kukhula kukota yokucala yeminyaka. Lokukhula kumkhakha wetimali kwendiwe imishwalense kuchaswa kwempension nalokwentiwa ngamabhizinisi.
Household expenditure was driven largely by restaurants and hotels. It actually grew at 6.9%, and the contribution of restaurants and hotels was 0.3 of a percentage point.
Nanobe kube nemehluko kukota yokucala yeminyaka epha lokhu akukashinji emandla lerandi njengoba kusukela itolo libita 19.20 rand uma liqhathaniswa neldola laseMelika.
We're all very well aware of the headwinds facing South Africa, from power to GDP to high interest rates and the like. So the fact that number came in with expectations slightly ahead in terms of the year-on-year number meant that you saw the bond markets rally a little bit. You've obviously seen the currency come back. But I think there's also a function of the fact that both the bond market and the currency, or the rand, was very much kind of oversold last week.
Umkhakha wedekulima temahlatsi kayene wekudvoba awukendi kahle kukota yesibili yeminyaka. Lokwendiwe ngilokwehla kwetindlu letitsinza temnotfo lokubuye kutekudla lokusaluhlavala nalemikhiqito letsinza tilwane. Nemkhakha wagesi ihasi nemandi awukendi kahle kulandzela kwehle kusenyetisweni kwagesi kayene kusenyetiswa kwemandi.
The electricity problem is the biggest Achilles tendon for the performance of our economy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we continue at a very slow pace to try and find solutions instead of maybe being more aggressive. And I know that the problem that is at ESCOM cannot be sorted out overnight.
Noma kunjalo maluleka uthi iStats SA sinetingcinamba tekusolakala kwemakhono kayene ngikhenge kuvala kwetikhala temisebenzi kanzi uthi lenhlangano idzinga kusitwa ngetimali.
Skopha sisola iDenel ngekungaveli ngaphambi kwaso kanzi sithi iDenel yetzelela iParliamente. Lokhu kuta ngemva kwekuthi ibhodi yeDenel yehluleke kuvela ngaphambi kwaso. Skopha siphocelelekile ukuthi sihlehlise lo mhlangano nanome tonke tinhlangothi letitsindzekako betikhona kushoda kuphela ibhodi yeDenel.
Iskopha ikugxeke kakhulu kungabikho kwebhodi yakwaDenel isithi incitho engafanelekanga. Sifuna ukuba indleko ezichithwe ukuququzelela lenhlanganiso zibhatalwe ngamalungu ebhodi ngepokotho zawo. Ikomiti ithi iyibambe lenhlanganiso emva kwesithembiso sokuba ibhodi iza kumelwa.
In a mess. Yeah, it's a shadow of its former self. And I would imagine that at some level of responsibility and accepting the complexity of the matter, the board would find it in itself to navigate such that they are represented at this meeting.
Amanye amalungu ekomiti nawo avakalise ukungoneliseki le meko. Amanye esithi ukufadala kwebhodi ukuza kule nhlanganiso kubonisa imeko ekuyiyo kwaDenel. Kwixesha elidlulileyo eliqumrhu belichazwe njengelingakwaziyo ukuhlawula imivuzo yabasebenzi.
Maybe Chair, it's a reflection of what is going on at Denel. There is a board on paper, but physically so there is no board.
Of the board not to come is unpardonable in a way. And the assertion by the chair of the board that someone will be, she will make it a point that the board is represented in the meeting.
What exactly is more important than coming to answer in Parliament? And then in terms of us proceeding, I would suggest that we can't, but that Denel be called back.
Iskopa sikwahorise ngokunika umsila wengwe ibhodi ukuba iyafadala ukuvela phambi kwekomiti kwiveke ezayo. Iskopa sikholelwa ukuba lentlanganiso ibiza kuxoxa ngokunika imali uDenel onke amalungu ebhodi ebeza kuba khona. Ikomiti ixhalabile imeko yezimali yakwaDenel nokuphicothwa kwezincwadi okungekagqitywa isithi uDenel fanele azokuchaza ngemali yesibonelelo ayifumeneyo kule minyaka imbalwa idlulileyo efikelela kwiibhiliyoni ezisithoba zerandi. Dingilulama Matya weendaba ze-SABC eParlamente eKapa.
Tati temthetho tithi kushona kwaBrigadier Jackson Makhawulesi loliphoyisa lilingumseshi ecaleni laThabo Bester lekweca ejele angeke kube nemthelela lomubi kuleli cala. Makhawulesi undlule emhlabeni itolo ngemuva kwekudutshulwa. Lebe basebenza naye bamchaze njengeliphoyisa belitimisele emsebenzini walo. Kanti umndeni walo ucele kuniketwa isikhathi lesanele sekubukana naloludzaba. Kuletinye ke uma sibuya etitolo mvunankulu wesifundza seMpumalanga Rifilwe Mthweni Tsipane sawunxuse tinhlangano tematekisi ukuthi tisebenzise ematfuba letinawo tekumbadzakanya nahulumende etinkingeni letibukana nato.